I think the first thing is not to assume anything and just get back to where you were, and um, starting from ground zero and one day at a time. We'll see how it plays out.
Cool. Do you think that getting better as a team, do you think that starts in the locker room, or is that more technical things that you build on the field?
I think both. I think right now through the summer months, these guys can attest a lot better than me, but also been doing it for a second. But I think leadership, particularly at the D2 level, when we're not allowed to work with the kids, is it's on display all summer. I think it's already formed, and hopefully we can pick up where these guys have left us as we start. So, but I think that they're starting with their leadership with those things and the summer conditioning, and now we'll get into the training camp, the nuts and bolts, and try and put it together.
Cool.
Coach, you talk about not getting comfortable and whatnot. What's the message that's been pushed out that was the 2022 team, we're the 2023 team, and how much of that are you pushing towards the players to push that leadership?
Well, absolutely, it will begin to be pushed very quickly. We've had a pretty good run, 37-10 over the last 47, and like Indianapolis, it's so easy to just think this just happens. A couple of years ago they're 7-4. Probably didn't like that. And there's no guarantees. You got to start from ground zero and build brick by brick. I don't care who you are, Indianapolis to the rest of us. And if you don't, bad things are going to happen. And the analogy for us is look at the NFL. You're all pro one year, you stay healthy the next year, and you're not all pro. And why is that? At the highest level, and it's between your ears. It's the competitive edges chips that you put up or don't put up as coaches and players. So we're not going to assume anything. Right now we're trying to be 1-0. With your season opener.
Zach, Ben, both of you guys, upperclassmen now. Coach talked about it a little bit. The culture starts with you, essentially. What's something that you guys have taken from maybe the upperclassmen that have left, or leaders in your own life, to continue the mission of, like I said, 2022 team, we were great. 1-0 every week for 2023.
I think, like Coach Nez said, great players always want to reprove themselves. So just continuing to reprove ourselves year after year and week after week. Like Coach said, nothing's guaranteed. Just have to continue to prove that we're one of the good teams in the conference, and that just starts by being 1-0 every week.
Yeah, and 2022, when we got back in January, started workouts and everything, it was kind of, that's over. We're focused on this season. We've been working since January through the summer here, and it's all towards this 2023 season, and we haven't looked back. It's looking forward. We're looking towards week one. We're looking forward to that type of stuff.
Zach's like Landry. He's a 6-year guy. So they love football, so that's truly flipping a switch with veteran guys.
Mm-hmm. So, Ben, you're one of the leaders on a defense that was the best in the GLVC last year. I'm sure that you guys would argue one of the best in the country. What separates your defense from your competitors?
I think it just starts with winning the rush set. I mean, that's our number one key to victory, week in and week out. And I think just having a culture that we've built, guys believe in that now. And this is something that we continue to believe in, and that's the standard now. So all the guys know the standard, and we just strive to continue to meet it.
What's y'all's conditioning plan been like throughout the offseason? Is there anything you guys are tweaking to take your game from where it was at, very successful last year, to the next level?
Start there, Zach.
I think so. Especially this July, we've been putting more of an emphasis on running. Instead of taking a little, we're still lifting, but a little less emphasis in the weight room as we approach training camp and get our legs under us, but also working with, we don't want to overdo it either, but I think this off season we've really put that a little bit extra to focus on the field running, 110s and that type of stuff as we got into July towards fall camp and everything.
What you been?
Kind of like Zach said, in June we were heavy in the weight room, light on running, just so we didn't tweak anything from the weight perspective. But then July we've been not necessarily less in the weight room, but just a little bit lighter of weight, and just a lot more running to get where we need to be for week one. So
to both of y'all, what are your goals for 2023?
My goal is all about win the first game, 1-0, and then after that, win the conference. I think that's our goal. That's always been our goal around here.
Yeah, I think Zach hit it pretty well. Just be 1-0 every week. And last year we didn't end the season how we necessarily wanted to in Indy. Just try and win a conference championship. And like I said earlier, just continue to reprove myself over and over again.
So Zach, you're chasing 1,000 yards this year. I don't know if that's something that's been hanging over your head.
Nah.
You need 189. Is that something that you've been thinking about? And what would that accomplishment mean
Did
to
you
you?
even know it?
I didn't know it. I did not know it, but it'd be cool and all. But like, the main thing is whatever it's going to take this year. I mean, coming back for a 6th year, I'm chasing wins. I'm chasing going to the playoffs. I'm chasing those types of things. I'm not chasing numbers on the field. I'm chasing for the guys around me that we go win.
Has that kind of changed as you've gotten older, a little bit more mature, maybe from your freshman year to the stats are less important to where the wins and the championships and even, it sounds tacky, but even the memories of this season?
Yeah, I think as like even just younger, you're like all you can think about when you come in is like how am I gonna earn the spot on the bus, all that type of stuff. But then as you're focused almost on I don't want to say focus on yourself, but you're focused on getting on the field, doing what you have to do. And then in the last couple of years, it's been more, what can I do for this team to make sure that we reach the goals that we set before the season.
Sounds like you've had some good leadership over the years.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have.
Doing something right, Coach.
We got good leaders in these kiddos.
Yeah.
Well, I'll ask you this, Coach. Obviously, your impact as a leader cannot go overstated, but how important is it to have leaders in and on your team on both sides?
This will be my 44th year, so I'm not a young guy in this profession. In the last 10 years, your first name again? Caden. I like that question because the last 10 years, my focus has been on leadership and intentionally develop. One thing about Division II, we're not allowed to work with you. Now, it's not. It has to be unless you cheat, and we don't. So these guys do an unbelievable job. So I like the way that's set up, and we've been fortunate. We've had good players, good kids with good parents, and guys that they adopt our philosophy and what we're doing, or they become irrelevant. And we've had a lot of them that have become really good. We got good men, good people. I just try and keep up.
Has that made recruiting a little bit easier?
Absolutely. We've hit 79%. Not that I keep track of anything over the last 8 years. Last 8,
That's why you got GAs, right?
169 official visits and 116 commits, and it's not. And we got a great school, #1 public in the Midwest for 26 straight years, and top 10 public or private for 26 straight. So it's a great degree, but it's the culture of the kids themselves when we get you on a trip. We didn't get Landry to trip. He committed early. Coach
Yeah.
squeezed him. We'd have had a shot.
Good deal. And then just one last question for you guys. Is there a certain kind of line to cross to consider this season a success? Is there anything in mind that?
I'll start with that. For me, no. And that's changed through the years. Obviously, you want to win more than you lose. You want to compete for a league title, all those types of things. But you just want to be the best football team you can be. And I got the lead officials right here. We've won the sportsmanship trophy for 6 of the last 7. Something we talk about. Try and win and lose sparingly, but when you do them both with class. And it's almost a lost art. We were just talking about it in a meeting just a little bit ago. So no, there's nothing for me to divine that. Well, these 2 guys could get injured tomorrow. We lose some football games. Guys are fighting their fanny off. They're becoming better people, still successful season. So I'd never define myself by that stuff.
Awesome.
You guys can answer differently. Let me brainwash you.
I agree. In my mind, as long as we play hard, fast, and physical for however many games we get, that's all you can ever ask for. It's all you ever promised.
You never promised the next one, so just play as hard as you can for the one that you got. And it's like Coach and I said, you can't. Yeah, there's certain goals we want to achieve, but I don't think that makes or break the season.
And then Ben, let me ask you, I saw you wore your ring on your pinky finger today. Can you tell me the story about that one?
The 2 years ago, I got one from the American Crossroads Bowl for my ring finger, and I just, in case I ever wanted to wear both at the same time, I guess I just got it for the pinky. But I thought 2 was a little too much today.
I've just appreciated Coach Keepers. I told him because they had the official that had a bowl ring on. I whispered to Coach Keepers, "I'm glad you didn't wear. You don't have enough fingers. He had to wear them on his toes."
They do what they do with like Flavor Flav.
Yeah,
with
there
the
you go.
chains.
Yeah.
I would wear it as a chain, but you're a little bit bigger than me. But appreciate it.
All right, man. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.